Describe the moment you knew I loved you. Hell yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I can't think of a time like I was like, oh, this is the moment. I always knew when you were going to tell me at Disneyland
Yeah.
for our first time.
Yeah, big fail.
And you kept getting nervous or delaying it.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily know if there was ever a moment when I knew you did. I just knew you did, because I did too. Oh, what do you think connects us?
The first two things that pop into my head is one, complete transparent honesty, and two, being a creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not just a creative that's contributing to the community.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really huge, right? I mean, there is another thing, but I didn't want to say it. I was gonna say being Asian. You know what I mean? Like being
Mm-hmm.
an Asian American, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being an Asian American community leader, doing the things for our community together. What about you? I want to know what you think.
I agree with you. I think it's, as you know, I've never dated an Asian American man before you, surprisingly. I'd always been open, but it just didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm with you, it has opened up a whole different identity for myself as well, of realizing how much deep pride I have in my roots and my background, and being able to share that with somebody that, yeah, like I can date another man of color and that we can understand each other on that level of struggle. But there is something beautiful to be said also of someone that knows very like hand in hand culturally what you do, how you speak with your family. That's really special between us.
I agree. When do I misunderstand you, and why do you think I do?
Oh my gosh. I felt misunderstood when we talk about how we socialize and talk to the opposite sex. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one where I had deactivated everything. I didn't want to talk to you. Yeah. That was the first time I felt like we had miscommunication, because I felt like now that we are officially together and we talk about future and all these things, that to me, it was like, okay, then there's certain ways that I need to not communicate with other men, or potential like things that can make you feel insecure or threatened. Mm-hmm. Whereas with you, I felt like you didn't care. You were just still gonna talk to whoever you wanted to. And to you, it's all fun and like you're just socializing. And to me, I was like, but you're flirting. You're flirting with people. You're flirting with women.
Yeah. So to be fair though, like in my mind, it's not. It's like just loose chat that I don't really give the time of day. And then we already went through the conversations together, right? But again, like I did see the bigger picture, and I was willing to just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna give myself, our relationship, every reason to not enable that, and just understand, like, you know what, like I'm just gonna tone that down and just do what's normal, whatever that means, right? But pretty much like not do that anymore. And I think that kind of goes back to like one of our core values of just being completely transparent and honest with each other, right? So, yeah.
How have your past relationships affected ours?
Okay, yeah. Definitely more positive, but the negatives are just minor kinks, minor insecurities that we both have that we're just slowly chipping away, right? Mm-hmm. I really, really hate the word triggers, or, oh, it triggered me, but, when certain like behaviors are peeking out of, through our phones or just how we talk to the opposite sex, it triggers our instincts to like, hey, I don't like that, mm-hmm. right? But the positive thing is is because we both went through, the similar toxic, relationships. We both can acknowledge it, and we both can agree, like, yo, we don't like that. Yeah, so let's plan for something better, right? So it's kind of like, I don't want to say a double-edged sword, but it pays in our favor, right? Oh, oh man, okay. What could happen that would end our relationship, and what can we do to avoid it?
You know the big one. Yeah. I've even thought about this, like, even if you had just kissed somebody, I'd be done.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know. I know. And I know because we've talked about it all the time, and we both know how it feels. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, like, this might be, this is just me being, silly and I guess a Gemini, whatever, right? It's a lot of work. I think cheating is bad, but another side of it is like, like, how do you even have that's like a part-time job, right?
That's what I mean, right? Like, when to find out, if I found out that you had cheated in any way, whether physically, emotionally, it's not only a hurt to the ego and to like, oh, it's not necessarily about the I'm not enough kind of thing, right? Because we both know that we've both done our own individual work to know our value of ourselves. It's more of a heartbreak of, well, what has our relationship been this whole time then? It's a difficult thing to explain to your partner that, yes, I love you and I trust you, but that trust isn't always about you. It's about the reoccurrence of things that trigger me, that bring me back to a place of needing to go into a defense mode, needing to control things or ask questions because, and be reassured because I don't want it to happen again, that I promised myself in my own relationship with myself that I wouldn't put myself into a situation like that again. So I feel bad sometimes about that we have to go through you dealing with consequences and actions of someone else that came before you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to feel bad though. Like, really, really at content with like how we are coming into like our relationship, oh, you went through some stuff, let's work at it together. Oh, I definitely went through some stuff, let's work at it together, right? And in some ways it's entertaining for both of us because it's, we're both learning from each other, right? My turn, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Describe what you see for us in the next 5 years.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I think in the next 5 years, we've talked about our timelines of we definitely want to have a place together. We want to have dogs together. I always heard that thing of like, like people start having babies and getting married, and like everyone just starts like you kind of get on the train. And again, I've always pushed back on like social norms and timelines, but I can see it now as an idea of, I don't know why I'm gonna cry.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
I think I always worry about my parents passing, and because I'm the only girl, that I won't be able to in time provide grandchildren for them. No. Yeah. And so like, I think it's starting to feel this like back of my mind urgency now. To like, I used to be on this like single track, single mode, and my parents have like never forced me to want to do anything, but now I'm like, I don't know, I always think of like, what happens if one of them has a heart attack, or my grandma like has a stroke. Yeah, she's really healthy, but you never know. But then it's like, I don't want to force us to have to like rush our timeline either. Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that they're around to see that.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Hi, thank you so much for sticking with us. If you want to stay connected to what we do, you should sign up to our newsletter at theskindeep.com/subscribe. Thank you very much.